if I'm so damn much, I gotta shine. I gotta shine. You know you the bull when they blowing up your line. Up your line. In the room full of models, bet you wouldn't mind. You wouldn't mind. She picking and she choosing, and I ain't hard to find. Hard to find. Hey, she picking and she choosing, and I ain't hard to find. Hard to find. She picking and she choosing, and I ain't hard to find. Hard to find. Hey, in the room full of models, bet you wouldn't mind. You wouldn't mind. Hey, she picking and she choosing, and I ain't hard to find. Hard to find. Hey, watch Gucci suits, fresh new pair of boots. I get so fly, I just glide like a parachute. High as the sky, I don't share the same air as you. Foreign made material, dripping like cereal. Show your right, don't let my active on hoes in sight. Little shorty up on the wall like she don't know her rights. What all I'm kicking her draws, I got an appetite. Probably think I'm apping right, think a nigga capping right. But if I hit it with this wand, I might have her stuck. Dressing every time she see me cause I'm cutting up. Versace suit, French button up. Diamond cufflinks, I'm elevated up. Ooh, I gotta shine. Step up in the room and make a hater go blind. The ooh on my line. So I'm on my grind like it's 1989. Excuse me if I'm so damn much, I gotta shine. I gotta shine. You know you the bull when they blowing up your line. Up your line. In the room full of models, bet you wouldn't mind. You wouldn't mind. She picking and she choosing, and I ain't hard to find. Hard to find. Hey, she picking and she choosing, and I ain't hard to find. Hard to find. Hey, she picking and she choosing, and I ain't hard to find. Hard to find. Hey, in the room full of models, bet you wouldn't mind. You wouldn't mind. Hey, she picking and she choosing, and I ain't hard to find. Hard to find. Hey.
He choosing the Chougie since day one in Gucci and Louis and Laurent, St. Martin, St. Lucia, Stay Dolo and Bentley. You might just recoup me. Atlanta to Philly, uptown to Dunwoody. They lost for the kitty. You cover the ticket, the nigga get with me. You cover the ticket, the nigga get with me. Get with me. Chougie, Chougie.
Excuse me if I'm so damn much, I gotta shine. I gotta shine. You know you the bull when they blowing up your line. Up your line. In the room full of models, bet you wouldn't mind. You wouldn't mind. She picking and she choosing, and I ain't hard to find. Hard to find. Hey, she picking and she choosing, and I ain't hard to find. Hard to find. She picking and she choosing, and I ain't hard to find. Hard to find. Hey, in the room full of models, bet you wouldn't mind. You wouldn't mind. Hey, she picking and she choosing, and I ain't hard to find. Hard to find. Hey, I ain't spending nothing but the waves. Kicking for a minute, not days. Damn, mama, why you tryna change my ways? I'm about to knock you over with the wave. Tsunami, the kitty cat. You talking dirty, let me see where it's really at. She started twerking on me, I'm feeling that. Got me like, slow down, ma, and killing that. Engine number 936 backwards is free smoke all the time. We don't ever beg, we buy. Only cactus on this shit like I. All the way up, I can trip and skydive. I. Different kind of glow, I'm so effing sci-fi. Excuse me if I'm so damn much, I gotta shine. I gotta shine. You know you the bull when they blowing up your line. Up your line. In the room full of models, bet you wouldn't mind. You wouldn't mind. She picking and she choosing, and I ain't hard to find. Hard to find. Hey, she picking and she choosing, and I ain't hard to find. Hard to find. She picking and she choosing, and I ain't hard to find. Hard to find. Hey, in the room full of models, bet you wouldn't mind. You wouldn't mind. Hey, she picking and she choosing, and I ain't hard to find. Hard to find. Hey.
It's time to wake up. yo. It's been too long, we've been sleeping, yo. Take off the blinders and stand up tall. Anxiety, depression, programmed and oppression. Kids in school, but there's no lesson, no. Ain't no proof, no discretion, no. We need to wake up, yo. Ain't much time now, so stand up tall. We all we got, we can fall to the ball. So band in love, life for matters, so stop your lying. What you selling, we buying. We walk now, we open up the door. We see you can't leave them high no more. They don't really care. It's time to wake up, yo. We need to rise up, yo. It's been too long, we've been sleeping, yo. Take off the blinders and stand up tall. It's time to wake up, yo. We need to rise up, yo. It's been too long, we've been sleeping, yo. Take off the blinders and stand up tall. They don't really care about us.
Fists up high, all together. Every day good for weather. If it's hard, it'll be all better. Stand for something, don't forget it together. You gotta wake up and be someone. It's all inside of you. Believe in yourself and the God inside of you. It's people starving, they don't care for the children. But we can make it one day if we keep on building.
It's time to wake up, yo. We need to rise up, yo. It's been too long, we've been sleeping, yo. Take off the blinders and stand up tall. It's time to wake up, yo. We need to rise up, yo. It's been too long, we've been sleeping, yo. Take off the blinders and stand up tall. They don't really care about us.
Suave on the beat.
Why we living in the matrix? Mirrors and hate with love. Rabbit holes, it was all tricks. Mirrors and hate with love. Land of zombies, hope you got clips. Mirrors and hate with love. Fantasy, so this is hostage. Erasing hate with love. 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 Yeah, screaming Black Lives Matter. Melanated like disaster. New world, same agenda. Yeah, they want us all in the casket. Oh, Lord, please help me. I don't know what's happening. Oh, please. I just don't know what's happening. What's happening now? Why we living in a matrix? Erasing hate with love. Rabbit holes, it was all tricks. Erasing hate with love. Land of zombies, hope you got clips. Erasing hate with love. Fantasy, so this is hostage. Erasing hate with love. 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 Fake air, fake news, chemtrails, fake foods, fake religions, fake rules, fake celebs and fake jewels. Nothing's what it seems, all clues. Nothing's what it seems, all clues. Nothing's what it seems. Nothing's what it seems, it's all clues. Nothing's what it seems, it's all clues. Why we living in a matrix? Erasing hate with love. Rabbit holes, it was all tricks. Erasing hate with love. Living in this land of zombies, hope you got clips. Erasing hate with love.
Yeah. You already know it's your girl StarChougie. And we are back, man. And I'm here to shine a little light on the dark ass situation, man. Y'all already know how I do. I got special guests in the building. I'm gonna need my special guest to turn this camera off and back on so we can stop the glitching that's going on over there. And I'm so happy that I'm back, y'all, like I never left. I mean, I be missing y'all when I'm going. Like, I really get great energy talking to you guys and, like, you know, just expressing to you how I feel about some of the world views and the things that's taking place right now. They think that we're a fool, but we not. You know, it's time to wake up. So we're gonna do just that. Do we got our guest? Let's see, our guest Shay in the building from No Spoon Podcast. We also have another special guest, Gio, in the building today, and he's gonna do some poetry for us. I mean, listen, we got a lit show today, baby. Let's see how we doing. We got a super special show today. My co-host, Mr. Late Ass Friend Daddy, SP, always late, man. Always, but we're gonna say he's always on time because we're gonna speak that into existence. I think I help him be late by always talking about the man being late all the damn time. That's better. That looks like that's a better situation going on. How you doing? Can you hear me? Yeah, so how about this too? How about we go to another song right quick? We put Wake Up back on, and then we come back on the other side, and we be ready for y'all like we never left. All right, so we got Wake Up. It's time to wake up, y'all, because y'all been sleeping. You know, y'all been just, man, y'all going for anything. We can't do that. It's time for us to stand up for what we know. Wake Up song. The top there you go.
Been to the war, no weapons made. I'm the least favorite, highly favored. No, I got the sauce, so highly favored. Properties on properties on properties. Turn my life 160 degrees. Jet skis in the 40. We gonna be what you wanna be now. You're right where you're supposed to be. Faith in your Lord and leave it be. When it come to doors, he hold the key. What he has for you, not enough for me. What he has for you, not enough for me. Treat my life with the same energy, mama, we made it. Yeah. Look how far we done made it, yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I just started hearing you right now.
All right, that's what I'm talking about. That's good.
Okay. You can hear me?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
All right, we back on. We got the No Spoon Podcast in the building, y'all. So, you know, we're about to drop some jewels on y'all, and I hope y'all ready because we're not holding no punches today. You know what I'm saying? We coming out with like we, you know, like we Buster Douglas and Tyson back in the day, one of the back in the day rumbles.
No.
So go ahead, introduce yourself. How about that?
Yeah, what's up? First of all, thank you for having me on here. I appreciate it.
Thanks for being here.
My name is Che. I'm the host of the No Spoon Podcast. I've been doing that. It's on Scoon TV. Any that's familiar with that, you can go to Scoon TV. He's got a whole network of content, and we just open the door for people to get their point of view out there. There's no censorship, nothing like that. If you put something crazy out there, we just going to debunk it with some truth and some facts. So that's how we push over there. So if you guys want to check my stuff out, it's over on ScoonTV.com. And the No Spoon Podcast, we talk about politics, social issues, family issues. I mean, we talk about it all. So
right.
That's basically what I do.
Yeah, I love it. You know, I love the bravery of anyone that's willing to, you know, put the truth out there, because we dealing with some serious times right now. We are in the middle of a war, you know, for those who don't know. We are smack there in the middle of a war. And, you know, brothers like yourself and he is Blanche, that's my guy. You know, we've had him on a couple of times. Matter of fact, we had him on a few times, and we can't wait to get him back. You guys are doing a great job, you know. And
yeah, actually, me and Blanche do a show. I forgot to talk about that. We do it on Instagram Live every Sunday at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. And on that show, we don't talk about politics or anything. We talk about like family issues. Yeah, we talk about like family issues, male-female relations, things like that. So
Oh, you guys, y'all gotta have me up there. You know what I'm saying? I love to.
and we have people on there every week. People come on there, they talk. We talk about it. You see some crazy stuff, but we on there, man. You got to get on there.
Oh yeah, just let me know. Listen, let me know when I can come up there and grace you guys with my thoughts and opinions on some of the topics that you guys, present on your show.
Definitely.
Yeah. So today, we got a few things that I'd like to talk about, but one thing in particular that is going crazy on the internet is that whole Nas X situation. And the reason why I end up bringing you on was because you chimed in on a post that I had threw up about the Cosby Show, right? And so so that was like, a lot of people was like, shit, I forgot about that episode, but I've been seeing things with the whole Cosby Show, that agendas that's been being pushed from the very beginning, right? Since the show, because typically you ask someone, especially in the melanated community, you ask them, oh, what's your take on the Cosby Show? Oh, it was positive. It was, a great show. It pushed, that black couples still exist and this, that, and the third, right? And that's how I saw it years ago. But in the last couple of years, I've been seeing a little differently, right? So I'm just going to give you my take on it, and then I just like for you to piggyback on your thoughts, since you had time to think about it, because you was like, that gave me another way of thinking, just something to think about rather,
Right.
So one of the things with the show was they pushed the whole doctor lawyer thing, that is success, and a lot of people don't understand that those careers come with a lot of background shady shit, I can't really, I'll just break it down to you. You got to do a lot of selling your own people out to have a lot of these so-called successful careers,
Right.
And the doctor, the lawyer thing, and then so they was pushing those two agendas. This is success. If you're a doctor, if you're a lawyer, not if you're an entrepreneur and you're making your own money, you're starting your own business, but you have to have these type of careers to live this way. And another thing they were pushing was the black colleges, right? So they were like Spelman and I forgot the other one that they was always pushing. Morehouse, I think it was, right? And when I began to do the research on those schools and found out they were owned by they're owned by George Soros, and he's one of the lead oppressors in this game. Well, he's a puppet, but he's one of the names that they use frequently in this game, and he's made comments actually about those schools being presented just to keep us in poverty. They know that because it's black on it. Oh, this is a SBU. This is a black university. Melanated people going to run to it. Oh, I want to send my kids to this university because it's a black-owned university or whatever. Not knowing that it's really a setup. And then the last thing was the whole pregnancy thing. When all of the guys on the show, Bill and all of his not stepsons, his son-in-laws was pregnant. And even then, I'm like, what's up with this? I was young at the time, but I'm like, what? That was freaky to me. They was all pregnant, and they all went and delivered these babies and was like screaming and hollering. They was like, imagine where it's coming from. And everybody like, they went through this whole pregnancy thing. And now people are so upset and like can't believe that this is going on with Nas X when he's not the one who initiated this agenda. Yes, he's pushing the shit out of it. But, he wasn't the initiator. And so, yeah, what do you think about all those things that's going on?
Well, I don't think anything is agenda free. You know what I mean? Like you can't especially when you're talking about like anything mainstream.
Yeah.
Like you have to be to a certain extent willing to play the game, and so no one's gonna have you on their network or on their their TV show that they produce, they put money behind, and you're gonna be doing something that's anti their agenda. So I don't think you really can find anything in that realm. Like, I mean, unless we're talking about things like we're doing, where everything is like independent done, it's very hard to not have no agenda in there. So yeah, to a certain extent, there was an agenda, but I think you also got to look at the time period, right? At the time period, like as far as like what you talked about, the doctor, lawyer, you talked about the college thing. That's what everybody was pushing at that time. We was getting away from trade schools. We were getting away from entrepreneurship and building up your own communities and things like that. And we were getting towards everybody has to go to college. Right. But what does college do? The first thing college does before it teaches you anything is it puts you in debt.
Absolutely.
So once you're in debt, then you're pretty much a slave to the system, because when somebody's in your pocket, that's who calls the shot. So I think in the very beginning, and the type of economy that we have as far as with our currency is based on debt. Absolutely. It's based on us collecting debt, us assuming debt, more and more debt. So that was just a way for us to get rid of. Remember, they got rid of like wood shop. They got rid of vocational classes in high schools, right? And the whole emphasis was gotta go to college, because once you in debt, you a slave to the system, and they can control you.
Yeah, you are now they bitch.
There it is.
Yes, absolutely.
We had this like false understanding that like we would look at shows like those and say, okay, let's be lawyers, let's be doctors, let's go to college. That's the key. Not knowing that we were just playing into their game. Their game was to get us in debt so that they could control us, and that's what happened.
Absolutely. And that's what's going on. But it's hard for our folks to see. They be like, oh, they just did that to Bill because he was showing a positive aspect. No, he was working for them. He was doing what they wanted him to do. He never veered away from that. And he was like what I call selected opposition. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Where they select certain people to appear to be for us when they just putting sugar on the shit that they pushing. You know what I mean? Like, they still pushing shit, but they putting sugar on it. So they like, oh, maybe he really cares, or he's doing a show to show us that this exists. But no, he's pushing this damn agenda.
And you know what the thing is like, you look at Bill Cosby. All those cases, how old were they? A lot of them were like 30 years old. Right. So you mean to tell me that he did all that
back then?
Nobody knew what was going on.
Yeah,
you know
they
what I mean?
Sweeping it under the rug because he was doing what they wanted them to do. And then
I think what happens is there are things going on behind the scenes that we just don't know.
Oh yeah.
This happens in our everyday life. You go at your job, things happen, and you wonder, hey, how come that manager don't work here no more? Well, he had a falling out with so and so, and that's what happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, these things happen in real life, and it just plays out on a bigger scale. Yeah. I don't necessarily look at him and be like, oh, he got set up because he's a freedom fighter. I look at him more like he made somebody mad.
He didn't do something that they wanted him to do. He went against the grain somewhere, somehow. Just like T.I. and Tiny, just like all the, I don't know if you're familiar with a lot of these so-called conscious dudes, but the whole conscious community is going to war with each other right now. I'm talking about the Polites and the Sinettas and all them. They literally are challenging each other to fights, and they telling each other dirty secrets that they've been knew, but now it's just hitting the fan since this verdict came out about Polite and his 14-year-old child allegedly raping his 14-year-old, kind of like a stepdaughter. So they've been throwing him under the bus, but besides just throwing him under the bus where he needs to be by, I'll go ahead and say that. However, they've been just turning on each other like crazy. I don't know. It's just like everybody is being exposed. Everything is being exposed, And
nobody's exposing who's really behind it. That's the problem. I mean, I'm not saying some people don't deserve to be exposed and they don't have bad intentions, but at the same time, like, there's people getting away scot free, and they're the ones that are really controlling. Like, this whole system needed to be exposed, but nobody's doing it.
We doing it. We doing it right now. You know what I'm saying? And we won't stop until we get action. Until we see a difference, a change. But the change start with you and I, and friend Daddy SP and Gio, who will be introducing very soon. How you doing, late ass?
I'm not late. I'm
Early
just coming from work, going to work, coming to work, going to work. Like,
you always say that.
It's the truth.
I'm going to start saying early ass because, like I was saying to the guest before, we need to speak it in existence that you're going to be on time. So on time, friend Daddy, everyone.
Yeah, and I did
always
something
on
great.
time,
and I
friend
did
Daddy.
something great today, like always.
What did you do? You don't need to talk to me like that.
Like always. Today I helped an elder get her name on the street, so 32nd and Reed is now Irene Russell Way in South Philly, and that's how I'm carrying it. Okay.
Can we get a hand clap?
So I ain't on late. I'm making history on time.
You ain't late. You being great.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Community needs me.
Okay, Mr. Community needs me. Well, I'm happy that you were doing something that stands out. I don't know, if having a street these days is really worth having, because half these streets won't even be here in about.
It's cool. We did it, baby.
We did it, though.
We did it, though.
All right, so what's your take on the Cosby Show, brother?
My take on the Cosby Show, it definitely was interesting. It gave some people that was in impoverished situations hope of a better life in different neighborhoods that's out there. You know what I mean?
Or false hope, but go ahead.
No, it depends on where your mind at. It's like some people don't come out their backyard. Like where I'm from, my aunt just told me her first time out of the country, out of the city, was out of the country in like Jamaica, right? And the whole time she was in Jamaica, she didn't go out the room because she was scared, because she heard all around the news that when you go to the hood, they kidnap you. So when she finally get out her neighborhood, she stayed in her room the whole damn time. So it's like sometimes people gotta see more to do more.
So I mean, my thing is,
it's like, it's interesting. You just can't take it like your life. Like, be motivated by it. Take some instruction, but like that's not your life. That's your. Don't take it like that's you. That's where you mess up.
So do you feel like that show was really made to help us to be great?
I feel like that show is made for entertainment, for you to entertain you being somewhere besides the goddamn hood. I ain't gonna say be great.
That's a possibility. It's just, I was just talking about the schools that, the schools that they pushed, and all those things was part of a greater agenda, because those schools was made to put us in poverty. You know what I'm saying? And he pushed them very well. He not only, every show if he have a sweater on or talk about his children going to these schools,
or them universities.
Yeah. That SB used is owned by George Soros.
And like I said, when I was teaching in the schools, I always said, Bill Cosby, all you gotta do is get perfect attendance. Bill Cosby give a scholarship out. So the whole time I was in school, I didn't Bill Cosby 1,000 people to death.
And they did have him doing that, right?
Yeah.
But that was still more so pushing that agenda. You know what I'm saying? Pushing that school. Go to school. You got to go to school. You got to go to college. That's the only way you're going to make it. That's the only way to do it. And then even getting, once you go to these schools, I still have a debt from Penn State, to this day. You know what I mean? I still have money that I need to pay still. And a lot of people are going for their masters and this, that, and the third, and then it cracks me up, because I'm like, even when you go for your masters, who are you the master of? Because you still have a master.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. Like me, now, particularly since you asked that question, like if I was to get my master's, right, I will get licensed, as a clinician. Then I can charge people $50 an hour for my services, and I don't need a master, because now I'm a licensed therapist clinician.
Now you signed in, and they expect you to push the drugs, the pharmaceuticals.
You damn sure signing them doctors note, goddamn it.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. And
but you gonna be up? You gonna be able to pay them loans back? No. You finally gonna be able to make it. Calvin finally got a good job.
That ain't no goddamn good job. That's still part of the system.
I'm
Because now
saying
you pushing prescription drugs and
this
you got
wa-
everybody on
this why it's
Zans
a
and
good job,
Percocets.
because everybody around you like impoverished. Everybody around you like God outside, so you gotta not let that go to your head, not let that go to your ego. So with most times people like that, it do make it worse because it's like now you can sell people perks, Xannies for the low. So now people on drugs, you like the leader of all of them. You know
Yeah,
what I
you're a
mean?
drug dealer.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like, in the long run, it's very effective. But hey, man, it's better than being broke, and that's the poverty. Like that's the part of being impoverished. Like
Yeah.
people just want to make it out. It's just the hope of possibilities.
So you'll be filthy rich in your pocket and you'll be broke as hell as far as your soul is concerned. Your soul be
Yeah.
gone. So you sell your soul for
I mean, if that's the way you want to deliver it, that's what's being delivered.
Okay.
You know, it ain't no way. Honestly, it's just like it's no way around that. And it's like me, a person that helps people all day long. All people do is be complaining. So it's like it's really it's like what's the balance to that? Like, you know what I mean? Sometimes you can help people to the point you can't even help yourself no more. You know what I mean? So it's like you're going to have to do something to sustain you and your family. Like, you know what I mean? The pressure's on.
Well, why not start your own healing type of therapy, right? Where you still talking to people and you aiding them, but instead of you pushing the prescribed pills, you pushing the herbs, you pushing the nettles
Because
and
they never going to give insurance for my business.
exactly.
Ha ha! You know it's real over
I
insurance.
just wanted to ask those questions because you just proved my point. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
I'm gonna
saying?
keep it real. I'm not gonna be fake. Like if I'm in this for, because the insurance, like people don't have resources. People don't have money. So more than likely, everything gonna go through the insurance. Like people trying
Exactly.
to buy houses, most likely gonna go through the bank.
Exactly.
You know
So
what I mean?
in order to be these what we was told was successful, in order for us to do those things, we gotta sell our people out.
We don't have to.
You just said it. How you gonna get paid?
No. We don't have to. We don't own nothing. We don't have a choice. In order to beat that, we had to start becoming owners. We have to own property. We have to own neighborhoods. We have to own stores. If you don't own
I just
nothing,
said that. You just said school though. You just said it. You can win by going to get your master's degree and then getting the
No, you can get your clinician's
Right.
license. You don't have to take insurance, but I was keeping it real and say I am.
All right, so this is all I'm saying. At the end of the day, right?
Right.
The only way that you can make it in that what you call their success is to sell the people out, sell our people
No,
out.
I don't agree
I'm
with
not
that.
talking
That's
about
the
you doing
quickest way.
entrepreneurs.
No, that's
I'm not
the
talking about you
quickest.
being an entrepreneur.
That's the quickest way to make it. I'm not going to say the only, because you could put that work in, but it's going to be time, and it's going to be over trust. You know what I mean? So that takes time, but the quickest way is to sell out. I ain't say the only way.
No. So, I mean, my thing is, I know it's not the only way because I'm not selling out. You know what I mean? And I'm,
No, you talking about in their game.
In
I know
their
not
game.
In their game.
Yeah.
No, you can really be a hard-working ass person for 10 years and really build and establish relationships and do it the long, hard way. You know what I mean? But most people going to take a big-ass check and get it done tomorrow.
Yeah. So that's the point that I was trying to make. Fran just definitely signed and delivered the deal, stuck the nails in the goddamn casket. You got to sell out in order to be their type of successful. So yeah. All right. So moving on, right? What is something you want to talk about? You're our guest. You know, what is something that what's one of the topics that, you know, might have been near and dear to your heart lately?
Well, you know, I like what he was saying right now, to be honest with you. And I kind of wanted, like, I could see it from both sides, not the selling out part so much, because I mean that's just a matter of how you decide to kind of put words together. But at the same time, it's like what he was saying about like Cosby Show. To me, there could be an agenda with something. Like a Cosby Show can be a straight agenda-driven show. It's not there to help you. But at the end of the day, it's really upon you. So I can take that. I can take what I've seen on Cosby Show, and I can apply that to my life and be like, okay, this is gonna motivate me to do this and do that. That's not necessarily I'm falling for the agenda, but at the same time, I can learn from anything. That's I always feel like we have that ability to be able to conduct or be like we're like a conduit of energy. So we can make it positive, we can make it negative. I can look at something that everybody's looking at it, oh, that's negative. But that can be something positive for me. That could be something I could take and be like, well, I'm a transmute this into something positive. And
He
so
sound like Friend. See, that's what Friend. See, Friend likes to go. He likes to fight against the opposition. Like, he's one of those kind of people that sees this opposition, knows that it's hot, don't touch it, and he like, but I'm going to touch it with these gloves on. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's how you learn, because I'm that way too. If it's something that you be like, man, you ain't supposed to be looking at that, I'll be like, I'm going to look at it. I want to see what it's talking about. I want to understand it. Like, and that just goes like you talked about when we first came on, said we have war. But that's the first thing when it comes to war, you got to know yourself and know your enemy.
Oh, yeah.
So I got to know what they're talking about.
That's
like, I got to
true.
get there. I got to get everything. I got to figure it out. And sometimes to the point where I can learn from them. I don't have no hate. I don't have no hatred for people, even if you're on the other side. You a soldier too.
Yeah,
So
I mean, that's real. I mean, a soldier is a soldier, regardless of what side of the war they fighting on, you know. But I mean, certain things I'd be like, okay, I need to know what they working with. But certain things I will stay away from. I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna leave that to them. You know what I'm saying? I say that shit ain't right. That shit is hot. I'm gonna leave that hot shit right there. You know what I mean? And then, like you said, sometimes you have to step. You know, you got to step into their zone, their terror dome, to see how they playing.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
It's nothing like being blindsided. You know what I mean? That's why I try to get the most knowledge I can get. You know what I mean? Even if it's about my enemy or my best friend in me, like, it doesn't matter, man. It's just about, you know, not giving people opening and cracks to manipulate your mind and play with you on this playing field. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to let nobody crack the code of my matrix before I get it. Like, if anybody gonna control me, it's gonna be me. So
Right.
I know it's entities and peoples and systems that like to control energy. So I'm gonna make sure I'm the conduit and the conductor of my own energy. So knowledge is the power that's gonna control energy, but not mine.
Yeah. So.
Oh, that's real. Hey, that's real. Yeah, I agree with that. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why you could watch something. I could watch the Cosby Show and be like, let me use that and it inspire me to do this or do that. Now, if there's other people, but that takes a strong mind, and that's what I see. Like, the biggest problem that we face in today, and why we in a lot of the situations that we in, is because we haven't been able to build strong people like we used to. You know what I mean? People today are weak, and at the first sign of any kind of discomfort, any type of struggle, they quit, they give up. You know what I
Well,
mean?
you
And
know,
that's-
it's because of the programming. The programming is teaching them to be weak. The programming, the chemicals, the chemtrails, the food, the chemicals that's in the food, the chemicals that's in the water, the programming that they watch every day, the news, the media. It's so many things, right? Because I started to get upset with our people just for being so weak, right? I'm like, what the fuck? Like, y'all just don't even try to fight back. Y'all don't even try to have a alternate way of thinking. It's just like they tell you what to think and you go for it, you know? But I see all the things that's being done to dumb us down. You know what I mean? It's so many. They're going above and beyond. Although their construction is starting to fall apart, they did a lot of things for so long to keep us dumbed down.
Yo,
you know?
bro, you know a question I got? What was old clock called before clocks?
Right.
Man.
Well, time is not even a thing. You know?
Man.
Time is
Yo,
not even
fuck.
a thing.
Well, what happened? What time it was before old clock then? Before the damn clocks. See, I just be thinking straight like that. You know what I mean? I know let there be light, like light and dark, but in between that, why are you trying to control me, bro?
Yeah. Because,
Why are you trying to control me, bro?
well, you know, it's a
that's an excuse for being late.
Fuck the old clock. Ain't no
Exactly.
old clock.
He want to be telling us I'm not a slave to time.
Ain't no,
I say that
bro.
shit every time I'm late. I'm like, y'all know I'm not no slave to time. Y'all know I don't get down like
I
that.
don't know who is old clock.
I don't know who the fuck o'clock is, and obviously you don't neither. Cause your ass ain't never here at 6 o'clock.
I'm from P clock.
Well,
The South Philly clock. The
well,
peacock.
that's what the hell
peacock.
I'm gonna say from now on. You need to be here at 6 peacock.
Yeah,
goddamn
you
it.
gotta be here at 6 peacock.
God damn it. All right, we're gonna bring on our guests because our other guests as well. His name is Gio. He is a poet, and guess what? We all about to know it. All right.
Yeah.
I'm sure he gonna grace us with something today. And is he? Yeah, he is. Come on, join us. Join us, brethren.
Yeah, so definitely I want everybody to meet Gio, you know, cause
Oh,
you
shucks, he
know,
bear gifts.
yeah, cause I'm proud of this guy, you know. I know him from P.O. Clock.
He's from the P Clock
yeah,
too.
He's from the P Clock
Oh,
too. Yeah,
shit.
I mean.
That's I should have known. I should have known.
But
What's
no,
the name
man.
of those? What's the name of those books?
So we got The Everlasting Love by George Orlando. Take your broken heart and turn it into art. And we got A Divine Connection, the beginning of the matriarch.
Oh wow. Okay.
George Orlando. Look. See, he ain't even know I know words like matriarch. I know he's
listening?
yeah.
You
I was a
tuned
little
in?
nervous you was gonna have to
Yeah,
take
no, bro.
I was a little nervous, bro.
No.
Cause that's that P Clock shit. Yeah. He like now I know a lot of niggas that go by the P Clock don't know how to goddamn
say
breathe.
matriarch. But that's why we got brother George here, and that's why I'm definitely proud of him. So I
So
want
those
you
are
to
your
let him know.
books?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh, you're an author.
Ain't no
Okay.
doubt.
Same. I'm an author too.
Oh.
Give me it. Let's get that.
Starting this thing from the muscle, man. From South Philly to on top, you know?
All right.
That's how we doing it.
I love it.
So tell him your story a little bit before we get into your book. Just a little brief. Give him a little 60 seconds of
You
Gio.
know, Gio, aka George Orlando, originally from South Philadelphia, you know, 20 Fantastica, born and raised, you know, dibbled and dabbed a little bit in the streets, as they know. Did my time in the penitentiary, changed my life, came home, you know, writing these novels, writing these books, trying to educate my neighborhood, educate the young kids, and to let them know that, you know, learn from my mistakes. You don't have to go down that route and you know, end up dead or in jail. You can learn from other guys' mistakes. So learn from me, you know, become a success story.
Absolutely.
So that's what I'm pushing. That's
I love
my
it.
agenda.
I like your agenda.
That's my agenda.
I'm a friend to your agenda.
You know what
I love it. So you got something for it? Can we hear some poetry? Cause I heard you a poet and everything.
This guy right here, man, you know,
What?
a lot of people,
He
right?
be
because
hyping shit up.
before I came, before I went to prison, I was rapping. I was a
No,
full
he was
time.
hot as shit.
I was definitely,
Oh, he
you
was
know,
there.
one of the
Okay.
you know,
Yeah.
top
Okay.
lyricists. You know,
I
where
took
we
him to
from.
the booth where he got booked.
You know,
Oh shit.
but so I came home. I'm still writing. I just switched it up now.
Okay.
You know, I'm in a bigger arena now. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? But I'm always gonna be, you know, Gio the poetic criminal.
All right. Well,
course.
can we hear something then? Poetic criminal. God damn it. Give us some poetic justice.
A little something. Let me see. Let me see. These are my revelations, trials and tribulations, my stress, dodging death like final destination, mysterious like a mason, the mind state of Satan, a gangster geek, I have a streets education, amongst the evil nation, where guns they rule, where thugs fuel, a place where selling drugs is cool. The government build jails, but they don't fund the schools. We living with a bunch of ignorant and grimy dudes. The nightly news, all they talk about is killings. Then end with saying they probably because of dealings.
Right.
Life different than the lesson that we learned as children, because there's no superhero to protect us from the villains. In store stealing, that's the way that I was taught to shop. When granny cooking, I pray it's meat in that boiling pot. Eating neighbors' leftovers, every crumb they got. And a mouse in our house eat every crumb we drop. It don't stop. This is like the circle of life. Niggas lurking at night. You can get murked for a price. He was a cold killer, but his obituary saying he was nice. He killed a couple little kids, old lady doing a heist. You feeling lucky, roll a dice. But who dealing the cards? A slim chance that you gonna be the one that's beating them odds. He worshiped money and drugs as his substitute gods. Then found out is a man playing the Wizard of Oz. He witnessing lies. This whole life is deception. Pretty little girls walking around with infections. kid turned in his book bag for a weapon. He started wrecking. If he lived to see 20 years a blessing, became a legend. In the hood, committing them evils. He lies so much his own mother don't believe you. Don't trust no one. Your own brother will deceive you. Your chick with you when you up, but when you down, she'll leave you. Getting high as an eagle, blowing on a dipper. An ounce of marijuana, a gallon full of liquor. I don't remember shit. Last night was like a picture. I woke up hungover with my face in the shitter. I'm a good for nothing nigga. I don't do everything I should. But don't listen to me long as my clips understood. I got a thing for bougie chicks. That's the color of wood. I mistreat them, but they love me because the dick is good. I got a passion for the hood. Hoop these and dollar bills. Look a nigga dead in his eye when you about to kill. I like being a shooter. Getting shot at is not a thrill. Hit a nigga up, then you ask his mother how it feel.
Right.
I dumped all kind of steel. Sold all kind of coke. I smoked all type of weed. The best kind make me choke. I like the way it tastes. And the purple bud helped me cope. Never had faith, then selling drugs gave me hope. Plus being broke, it wasn't fitting my ego. Good guys finished last, so I was living illegal. Was trying to find myself while you was looking for Nemo, a new jack. But this is way bigger than Nino. This about a C note, the money, the commerce, the cause for all the killing, the main reason my nine burst. I'm trying to dodge prison, staying out of that Pinehurst. A lot of hoods evil, but I promise you mine's worse. I was taught to bomb first and not to fail. The streets of Philly is like walking through the depths of hell. Many nights wrestle demons in the flaming cell. Around witchcraft, sorcery, the chanting of spells. I give you dragon tales with more color than a cartoon. I'm talking about when you see your shadow in a dark room, visioning yourself in a grave in that marked tomb. The first day of the rest of your life about to start soon. Good guy, part goon. I made some wrong choices. I listened to my conscience. Doc said I'm hearing voices. I came up in the world by selling people poisons. Was trying to get rich, wanted mansions, Rolls Royces. How could I avoid it? The fork in the road. When you go to cross the bridge, be aware of the troll. I lost everything and my dreams was on hold. Upstate in the hole, Satan tried to purchase my soul. He offered the poor nigga gold and lots of power, beautiful women, a throne on a highest tower, a yacht, private jet, all my inner desires. But when it's over, we'll have to burn in eternity's fire. The future seems sour, but the present is sweet. If there's a place up in heaven for a nigga that's street, angels rejoice when we born, but when we die, they weep. Before I go, I pray a lot for my soul to keep. The streets making me weak. I need some muscle relaxer. The bad guys in first, the good fell much faster. Inside, it's getting worse, but I hide it with laughter. All the churches corrupt. Kids being touched by pastors. The hood is a disaster. Somebody pray for the slums. Around killings, drug dealings, crackheads and bums. It's a horror across the border. Slaughter daughters and sons. Every morning on a corner, chasing corners and ones.
Well, shit. We should have just started by saying, listen, just give us those bars. 'Cause you just gave us your whole, you gave us.
Yeah, I said this the younger
damn.
was thick. I said, come here, young boy. We in the studio. Down, spit that shit.
Yeah, I love it.
Go in.
It's just natural, man.
Listen, that was a lot. You dropped a bunch of jewels. I was tuned in. You know what I mean? You definitely dropped a bunch of jewels for us. Do you got a take on what we were talking about?
The Cosby thing?
Yeah.
I definitely feels that when you growing up in a poor society and you watch the Cosby Show, it gave you a different outlook on what you can be in life or what you can have, you know? And with everything, I take the good and I leave the bad.
Yeah.
You know, so everything that I took, you know, I'm an optimist.
Yeah.
So it's like I took the opportunity to be like, damn, like so black people can live where he lived. We
Yeah.
can have what he have, you know? So as a young kid watching it, I was blind to the other agendas. That
Me
they was
too.
pushing, you feel
Like
what I'm
I
saying?
loved it. I watched it every Thursday. You
Right,
know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I watched a different world, you know, right after.
Yep.
And this was, you know, like clockwork, but it still programmed me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's the whole thing. I did watch it and I loved it, and it did make me think, oh, I want a big house. I want a
Right.
fancy car. I want my kids to be having all this fancy shit in their own room and
Yep.
all this and the goldfish. I want to have funerals rooms and the
Right,
bathroom
right.
for my
Yup.
goldfish.
Yup.
Like,
And more than anything, he from Philly, so that really touched deep.
yeah, and
You know?
he ain't even what kind of disorder. He was raised here.
You know,
And yeah, and it gave us, and it's so much history behind Philadelphia.
Right.
So I see why they made his character be from Philadelphia.
Right.
But yeah, back then I didn't know. But in hindsight, hindsight is 2020.
Right.
And so no, I'm not saying that it was a total negative thing. I'm just saying now being able to see through my third eye.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm able to see that there was a bunch of bullshit being pushed.
Yeah.
He helped us be programmed.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Everything on television help us be programmed.
Absolutely.
Right.
That's why it's called
Television.
TV and TV programming.
Exactly.
Yo, you remember back in the day we had the TV guide,
Yes.
and it said,
Yes.
and it said national programming.
It damn sure did.
Okay, they guiding you to program you.
It damn sure
That's real
did.
rap.
Okay, they must ain't had graded media like cable when it first came out.
Yeah.
Yo,
And that's
Bitch
what I
know
mean
they
by
self.
you gotta really like take the good and leave the bad. Because it's
Absolutely.
like everything on there is trying to brainwash us
Everything.
to their agenda.
Yeah.
Right? Whoever's sponsoring this television show or anything, they're pushing their agenda. Or I'm gonna give you your own show, but you gotta wear this clothing.
Yep.
You gotta talk about this college or this school.
You got to be
or this
pregnant,
brand.
even though you're a man. You got to be
Stuff
pregnant.
like that, yeah, because it's pushing the agenda, and I try to be on point of what my children is watching because even these cartoons is
Oh, yeah.
pushing the
Oh,
agenda.
absolutely.
You feel what I'm saying? Like,
Absolutely.
I have nothing against like homosexuals, but when y'all teaching it to my children on cartoons
In school now, too.
in
It's in school now,
it's
too.
like now
Yeah.
something got to be done about this.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I'm saying.
It's too much because it's like, all right, you can say I support them, but if you say I don't support them, then you're a problem. You like, well, I don't have nothing against them. I'm just not at the parades
Yeah.
with my flag. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're a terrorist after that.
Yeah. So it's
know?
like those agendas, and these people run these stations. You know?
Yeah. Oh yeah, the 1%. They
Yeah.
own everything.
They
They own the
own it.
liquor, the food,
Yeah.
the clothes, the cars,
Yup.
the everything. They
Yup.
own the banks. They
Yup.
own the hospitals.
It all
They
goes
own the
back
schools.
to being politically correct.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
why I didn't want to go through them to publish my books because then they was gonna have a say so on what I write.
Absolutely.
You feel what I'm saying? Whereas though, no, I'm gonna start my own company and I'm gonna write about what I want to write about.
Yeah.
I'm gonna push my agenda.
Absolutely. Well, talking about pushing agendas, that's all go around because we got 8 minutes left. That's just go around and give some of the what is some of the things we can do to make things better? We already know what's wrong. What are some of the things that we could do real quick, briefly? What are some of the things we could do to make things right? Shay, we're gonna start with you.
I think it's just to stand on your principles. You know what I mean? Whatever it is that you come by, whatever it is that you believe and you stand by it. Stand by it up under all scrutiny. You know what I mean? And always be willing to be right. And what I mean by that is like I don't mean like I want to be right or my way is right. I just want to get with whatever's right. So if you come and you got something better than doing what I'm doing, I'm gonna get with that because at the end of the day, I'm gonna be on the right side of things. So I would say just be focused on what's right. And I like the poetry. Gio, that's your name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Gio. Yeah, that's what's up. I mean, I was incarcerated too. I did 15 years out here in California, and
Wow.
so that kind of like changes your whole perspective of things. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, you see the world different. It's
Yeah.
almost,
It's like I don't think nobody should go to prison, but prison helps so many guys out. Like I met the best guys in the world
Man.
in prison because our heads was clear. We got a chance to stop and focus on our own lives and read and educate ourselves.
Yeah, kind of like how COVID did for a lot of us out here.
Exactly.
So I
Exactly.
understand. I get it. All right. Well, what is since we got you? What are a couple of things that you might suggest that we can do to make things better?
Well, what I'm going to be doing is like I'm gonna be going to the schools in our neighborhoods, right? And I'm be working with the schools to start a book program,
Okay.
a writing program. Whereas though because I meet so many people that say, "Oh, I never met a writer before," because in our neighborhoods they wasn't pushing that agenda. Whereas you could be a writer. So I'm gonna be giving these kids opportunities, start little book contests and things like that, so they could publish under my publishing company and give them, try to make reading cool again. That's like my hashtag. Let's make this cool again. These TVs and video games, they could mess your child head up,
Oh,
and you
yeah.
got to get the kids while they're younger. You know,
Absolutely.
so that's what I'm gonna be doing personally, man. You gotta educate these children, man.
That sounds good. It sounds awesome. I love it. I love it. You well thought out. Okay, come on ahead, Mr. Tom. Mr. Peacock Tom.
Yeah, but you know, my biggest thing would be ownership, and even if it's not like a monetary thing, even owning yourself, owning your own thoughts.
No
you
doubt.
know what I mean? Owning your own vessel. You know, you start there. You know what I mean? Because everything will translate from within. You know, that
Absolutely.
understanding, translate the understanding and overstanding.
Right.
Absolutely.
So you know, just ownership.
Yeah.
I gotta piggyback off of that. You
Yeah.
know, that's the main thing. Know thyself. That's my whole, you know, way of thinking right now. To know thyself, to get to know me, not the what they make us think is the enemy, but it's the inner me. You know, and they try to make us feel like that's the worst thing to do is to go. They make that the enemy. You know what I'm saying? So to go within and find out all your answers. The books is great, and I like what you're doing because that helps to work our creativity.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So in
Imagination.
creativity,
Yeah.
imagination and creativity, and we need that actually to ascend to the higher dimensions. You know what I mean? We need that to get to our higher self.
Yeah.
So that's my main thing. Know thyself. Go within. I tell y'all this every show because I mean it. That, you know, the universe comes through. Just take this in.
Yep.
The universe comes through and takes screenshots of our thoughts,
Yep.
good, bad, or indifferent. So if you're having stinking thinking and you think that you're losing on a constant basis, or you're judging yourself by what somebody else is doing, then the universe comes through and take a screenshot and will always present those situations for you.
Right.
If you're thinking that you can win and that you are somebody and that you have a, you know, you will be great and
Right.
you will have abundance, the universe will come screenshot that and they will create those opportunities.
Yep.
You are the construction. Your thoughts is your construction
Right.
of your life.
And
Don't let them pay you to lose your creativity, because that's
There
what they
you
try
go.
to do.
Absolutely, or yeah, for you to sell your soul,
Facts.
and then you're done. So I thank y'all so much for tuning in. Thank you, Shay, for joining us.
Yeah,
We gotta
man.
have you back one of these
Yes,
days.
sir. Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Gio. We gotta have you back.
No doubt.
Thank you, Mr. Peacock. You know what I'm saying? And we got next coming up, Paulie and the gang. We're gonna leave y'all this week with just know thyself, and we'll be back next week like we never left. I love y'all. Thanks for tuning in. We just here to shine a little light on a dark ass situation, man.
Ah.